All right, guys, here's your quick lesson on Google My Maps. Today, we're going to start our geography unit, but we're going to start by making a map and adding some markers and some pictures and descriptions to places on that map. So, first thing you do, head over to your Google Drive, press New, go down to More, then you'll see where it says Google My Maps. Click on that. And it's going to create a Google My Map for you. What I want you to do first is I want you to change the name, put your last name, first initial, and period. We always want to name these, and we want to name anything that goes into your drive so we can easily find it later. So once you get it named, hit save. Now let's walk you around the map just a little bit. This is a world map. You can spin it, go all the way around the world. I suggest you use a mouse when you do this. It's a little bit easier to navigate on a mouse, but it's just fine with the trackpad on your Chromebook as well. If you want to zoom in, you can press plus to zoom in. You can also, if you have a trackball on your mouse, zoom in and out. You can do that with 2 fingers on your Chromebook as well. You can change your base map to different types of maps. I'll let you play around with that. You can use whatever you'd like. I like to just use this terrain map. We are going to add some things to this first layer. So I want you to click on rename this layer. And then we're going to title this intro. This is going to be our intro layer. So let me walk you around what you have on your map now. Up here, you have an undo button. So I'm going to show you how to do some things on here. And if it doesn't work the way you want it to work, you can undo it, just like any other application with undo. You have a select items. So if I use that little hand, I can grab and select things and move them around. I'm going to come back to these two in a minute because this is what I'm going to teach you how to use. We have a directions. We're not going to use that. You could use that if you wanted to on your own maps, but we're not going to use directions. And we also have here, we have a measuring a distance in areas. We might use that sometimes, but we probably won't. Lastly, you have the search bar. A lot of times we're not going to have you use the search bar. We're going to give you another map to reference to place onto this map, but the search bar can be handy sometimes as well. So let's look at these 2 items. For the most part, you're going to be placing markers or lines or shapes on the map. So first, in order to place a marker on a map, it's really easy. Hint, here's one of the first places that you're going to have to mark, the Pacific Ocean. If you notice here, it says the Pacific Ocean. If I want to put a marker there, I click that. And if you notice, I now have a plus button. I then drop my marker anywhere I want it to be. And there it is. Now I can name that. I can also give it a description. Other things I can do, and you are going to do this today, you can add images or video. So if I want to find a picture of the Pacific Ocean or something interesting about it, I can and add an image. For the most part, you guys are going to use this here, the Google image search. But if you have images that you want to use from other places, you're more than welcome to. So Pacific. When I find a picture that I like, select it. I insert it. There's my picture. Now I'm going to save this marker. Let me move over here and you can see I'm done. That's how you place your marker. Pretty easy. That marker stays there when you click off it. And then when you want to click back on and see all the information, you can see that information. It also gives you, these are GPS coordinates where exactly it is that you placed that marker. If I want to change the style of the marker, I can. If I want to make it a different color, I can make it a different color. I can change the icon to something different if I want. I can edit. So if I spelled something wrong or need to add something, I can edit. I can add another image. I can have directions to where I am in the Pacific Ocean. You're not going to use that. And then you can delete it as well. So again, to add a marker, click on that. You get the plus button, find wherever you want to drop your marker. Another thing that you're going to have to use a marker on is the United States. So boom, drop a marker there, hit save, and there you go. The last tool I'm going to talk about is the line tool. We're not going to use that today, so I'm not going to go too in depth with it. But in order to add a line, you click on that and you can add a line or a shape. We're never going to add any of these different routes. Well, we might, who knows? But the main thing that we're going to do is add lines and shapes, but that's going to be for a lesson later on. All right, now that you know your tools in Google My Maps, let's look at what you're going to have to do with the map today. You're going to have to add a pin to several places. One to the Pacific Ocean, one to the Atlantic Ocean, one to the United States, one to Mexico. You're going to have to add a pin also to South America. Then you're going to add one to Nipomo. You're going to add a pin where your house is. You are going to add a pin to a place where you've been that is really special to you and you really love. And then last, you're going to add a pin to a place where you'd really like to go. Maybe you haven't been there before, but you'd really like to go. So let me start by showing you how you find something specific. So for your house, you can type in your address. And if you really don't want to put your address in and don't want to put a pin on your house, you could put a pin just somewhere in Nipomo and say that you live in Nipomo or Rio Grande. Nobody else will be able to see this map except for me. So um, if you're worried about people seeing where you live, that's not going to matter. But if you put in the address, I use a school address, brings a pin up on the school address. This is really fun too, because you can go down the street view. But once you've got that pin in, you press add to map, and now you have a pin there. Let's zoom out and see where that is in relation to everything else. So I'm just zooming out by using the trackball on my mouse. I could use the minus button here, and I think it's 2 fingers on up or down on your Chromebook. All right, for places that you'd like to go, you can do the same type of thing. So if you want to go to Disney or places that you've been, you can use the same type of thing. So if you've been to Disneyland and that is your favorite place that you've ever been, you just type that in the search bar and it's going to take you there and you're going to add that pin to the map. Now, for the places that you've been that you really like, that are really special to you, I want you to add a picture and a description. And again, how you do that is you click on edit. So we're going to add a description on why we like Disneyland so much. And then, well, or whichever place that you choose, then you're going to add a picture. Again, I just click on that picture icon, type in the Google search images, pick whichever picture that I want or image that I want. It takes a second for it to pop in there, and I'm going to hit save. So for the place that you've been that's really special to you, I do want a description, and I also would like to see a picture. Now, for the place that you've never been that you'd like to go sometime, or maybe go back to sometime, you can either search the map for it. So, for instance, I really liked Hawaii. I haven't been there in a long time, and I'd love to go back. So I could just search on the map. Cabo's a great place. I grew up going to Estero Beach here in Baja, California. So you could just add a pin, just go, all right, let's do Estero Beach. It's around here. I'm probably not exactly in the right place, but it's around in this area. And I could put that pin. And I have to have the description of why I like it. And then I need to add an image. And this is the spot. So I am going to select an image and just add it. So again, you can roundabout pick a spot in the area where you think it is. So if it's Cabo, if it's somewhere in Mexico, if it's somewhere in the United States, some lakes like Hawaii, you can just place a pin there, or you can search for the exact location. So if it were somewhere like Cabo San Lucas, I could search for it and it would place a pin there for me. I'd add that to the map. I do then want to add a description and an image. So that's it. There's your first walk around Google My Maps. We're going to use these all year long. So you're going to have to get used to it. We love using these maps, and the kids generally do too. And today, you're going to be asked to put some specific things on that I listed for you. If you go back to the assignment, they're also listed on a document there as well. All right. I hope this helps.